Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Please put your audios off. Okay. So we are in Kathopanishad and chapter 1, part 2, and we are, I think, on the 20th verse, and we were looking at the question of Nachiket, who is standing in front of the Lord of Death. So that story you know, and he has, where are we? Let me just get the verses. So in 16 and 17 verses, we saw the instruction on instruction on Om was given, where it was told that Etadhyevaksharam Brahma, Etadhyevaksharam Param, Etadhyevaksharam Nyatva Yo Yadichyati Tasya Tata, and that this Om is the higher, is the Akshar Brahma, that means it is the Hiranyagarbha as well as it is the transcendental reality, the absolute reality. Etadhyevaksharam Nyatva, and anyone who knows it as such, that it is the symbol for both the relative as well as the infinite, the formless and with form, and yo yadichyati tasya tata, and such a person focusing on Om can understand, with this understanding can achieve anything in this world or the infinite. He can achieve to be the anything in this relative world, or he can be the master of the relative world, or he can be the absolute, depending upon where his attention and focus is. Etadalambanam shreshtham, etadalambanam param, etadalambanam nyatva brahmaloke mahiyate. Instead of going after different mantras, as we told you, Om Namah Shivaya, Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Krishna Sharanam Mama, Ramaya Namaha, etc., etc., etc. Here the Upanishad doesn't go into gods, doesn't go into propagating the Ishvara. Its main purpose is to make the seeker recognize that he is essentially the infinite reality that is. The Upanishad's purpose is first to bring the student to the witnessing consciousness, to the Atman, and then making him recognize that this Atman is itself the Brahman. So Tattvamasi Mahavakya instruction is given, and here he says this medium, this Om is the bestest. Alambanam Shreshtham is the bestest support. And for both, for the high, for the infinite as well as the total. And meditating on this Om, meaning, what is meditation? Meditation will be dharana, dhyan, samadhi. So meditate on it, and once you come towards, as our focus does not deviate from Om, then you have already understood, at least intellectually understood, then you initiate this, or it will come if that thing is there, the intention is there, I want to understand, then it will reveal also. It is all directly proportional to our intentions. With what intention are we chanting Om? Is it for our child's health? Is it for our parents' health? Is it for our health? Is it for the Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu? We are going to chant Mrityunjay mantra because that person is dying. Arre? Did you create that person? Who gave you the authority to chant Mrityunjay for that dying person? Did you create that body? No. Who are you to stop it from not going away? It is its journey. Let it go through its journey. Don't interfere. We are talking about intentions. But if you chant Mrityunjay mantra, why? You want to remind the dying person that you are the immortal one. Let the body go back to the five elements. You are the untouched one. With that understanding, you chant mantra for that person as well as for yourself, because one day you are also going to die. Maybe it will benefit. But our intention is sheep mentality. Someone says someone is sick, that Mahatma is not well, start chanting the mantra. Say, yes, one reason why people do it is because they love that Mahatma, so they do it. And what was Mahatma teaching you? Mahatma was teaching you, fall in love with yourself, the Atman. And we are, because we were attached to the name and form in the world, we dropped the world, now we are in love with the name and form called the Guru. And what is he teaching? That give up the names and forms, not only of mine. Discover the Guru within, discover the Lord within. Par hum bhi hain, hum nahi manenge. And in this way, a person who becomes one with Om, and whatever his achievement, infinite or relative, he becomes adorable in the world, meaning in the heavens, on the earth, everyone looks up to him, everyone wants to be with him, everyone wants to sings glory of him, because through Om one is able to achieve the impossible. What is impossible for you? For a poor fellow, impossibility is to get $1,000 a day, 1,000 rupees a day. That is impossibility for him. For one who is earning $1,000 a day, for him impossibility is $1 million a day. So those who have seen all the money that it has not brought us happiness, then they want to go. For them, impossibility is that is it possible that in this lifetime I can be one with God? Then they become spiritual because they have exhausted all options in the world. They have possessed, they can get anything they want, they can possess anything they want, they can destroy anything that they want. Usually that is the time such a person turns towards the higher. Then the 18th verse was told that don't misunderstand that uh, that this person is adorable. What is adorable? That person is adorable only because he is abiding in his self. That's why he is adorable. Why he is abiding in the self? Because he did the sadhana of focusing, dharana, dhyan, samadhi, understanding of Om. He took Om as the alambana. Now from 18th and 19th verse, the indestructible nature of Atman is told. न जायते म्रियते वापि पश्चित् नायं कुतश्चिन्न बभूव कश्चित् अजो नित्य शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. न जायते म्रियते वा विपश्चित. The intelligent self is neither born nor does it die. So it is beginningless and endless. It's anadi ananta. Adi anta. It has got no beginning and no end. And nayam kudachinna bhavaka. It did not originate from nothing, anything, and nor did anything originate from it. So it is what? Purnamada Purnamidam. So it is not under, what was the question? Anyatra dharmat, anyatra dharmat, anyatra asmat, kruta krutat. Asmat, cause and effect. So it is not an effect of anything and nor it is a cause of anything. So what is this Atman? It is transcendental. Body can be a cause of something. What is body a cause of? Comfort and discomfort. Let's come to basics. Body is cause of comfort and discomfort. Breath is cause of hunger and thirst. Mind is cause of likes and dislikes. Intellect is cause of praise and insult. Atman is cause of nothing. Then in this, I was nowhere. Where have I gone? No, you are nowhere. You came to the correct conclusion. In this sentence, there was no mention of you. The one whom you think you are, it is not there. It is only a ghost. So, it did not originate from anything, nor did anything originate from it. Then it says, not only that, ajo nitya shashvatoyam purana. It is birthless, eternal, ajaha, birthless, nitya, eternal, shashvata, most auspicious, undecaying, and purana, ancient. Nahanyate hanyamane sharire. It is not killed even when the body is killed. Isn't it true? We are just recapping. Isn't it true that when we talk about that, well, I gave one, we don't know about our death, but if you look at death in this manner, that the childhood died so that teenage was born. Teenage died so the youth was born. Youth died, then middle age was born. Middle age died and old age came about. And every day, every year, the body is changing, thoughts are changing, ideas are changing, continuous change is there. And there is a marked change from childhood to teenage, from teenage to youth. So because you have changed, because the body has changed, do you feel you have changed? Another example which I gave last week was, every day you change your clothes. Because you have changed your clothes, have you become changed person? No. You remain the same person as a body. Clothes are taken off and fresh are worn. That is exactly if if here the topic of soul is not taken. So if you take, but I'll introduce that if you take yourself to be the soul also, the body dies, and based on the data in your mind, the soul moves ahead, continues, and takes on another body. Just like a house is built, once this house is destroyed, nothing happens to the space. Then in the same space, a new house is created. So when the house was created, first house was created, did space become less? Did the space become trapped? No. Did it come from somewhere? No. Is it feeling claustrophobic inside the house? No. Then when this house is broken, did the space go back to the total space? No. Did it sing and dance with cheers of joy? No. Then a new one, oh, again you are tying me up. No. Space remained as space. Water remains as water. Whether a tsunami comes and goes, or a wave comes, millions of waves come and go, nothing happens to the water. Same way, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Even if the body is killed, in other words, if body is diseased, Atman is not diseased. If body is cut, Atma is not cut. If body is feeling the pain or mind is feeling the pain, you are not feeling the pain. Atma is not affected. So if body is feeling heat and cold, Atma doesn't. Atma is independent of the body. Atma is independent of the hunger and thirst. Atma is independent of likes and dislikes, praise and insult. It supports all of them. Without it, the body with its panchakoshas cannot function. But what about when these panchakoshas in the war? So many people are dying. Do they have this knowledge? But here we are not talking about the world. The approach is subjective. Have we prepared if death comes tomorrow, next moment, tomorrow? Has it gone into us that we are other than the destructible body? So this conclusion, raising yourself up to this conclusion. Here Vedanta or Upanishad is invoking the Vedanta, the Upanishad, all similar words, or Atman or Brahman, that you are, that I am, whichever way. It's invoking, these words are invoking that which we already are. So when it says, na hanyate hanyamane sharire, your ears are hearing it. So find out what is destructible. What is destructible? World is destructible, body is destructible, breath is destructible, emotions are destructible, thoughts in the mind are destructible. The I thought, as a thought, the I, which we keep saying every time, this is also destructible. Where in sleep, you don't keep saying I. it is gone. Does it mean that you have become destroyed? No. This connotation, this deep understanding, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. This is the characteristic of this Atman, that even when, and we are talking about you, you're talking about this person who's seeking, who's speaking, who's listening. You want to take it generally, it's okay, you can take generally, but you have to apply it subjectively. So and this is your data. The data that you have been living with unknowingly is just being put in front of you. These words are nothing but acting as mirror in front of you. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. See, that even when the body is injured, Atma is not injured. When the body is killed, Atman is not killed. Why? Because it is ajo nitya shashvatayam purano. It is birthless, it is eternal, it is undecaying, and it is the most ancient one. Other adjectives that are given, Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Swarupa, those are also said. It is Shiva, auspicious. So now we think first, when Nachiketa asked, Anyatra dharmat, anyatra asmat, krutat, anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha, yat tad pashyati tad vada. Please tell me that which is other than righteousness and unrighteousness, other than, what is that which is other than cause and effect? What is that which is other than doing and not doing? What is that which is other than past and future? And O Lord of Death, Yamraj, O Dharmaraj, please tell me what is your direct experience, what you see it. And here, then he told him, he gave him the support of Om. Who can ask that type of question? Anyatra dharmat, anyatra dharmat. Have you ever asked that question? Your question is only doubts. That teacher said this, that book said this is what I read before. We are not subjective. Subjective questions are very different. There is no comparison, there is no competition, there is no validation, there is no checking out, there is no why this scripture is saying like that and that scripture is not saying. You are not worked it out. You are still lost in argumentation and discussion because your attention is not on the self. If you come to the self, if your attention is on the Atman, mind will become quiet. Mind will become quiet. How this mind becomes quiet, and yet we enjoy listening, yet we are listening, yet we are talking. This is the topic of the retreat. How is it? Tasmai Shri Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Topic is on silence. He's teaching through silence. But what does silence mean? Then why there are so many 10 verses? If here we have to come and everything is bringing us to a point here, even this, that the self is neither killed nor can it kill, it does not create nor it is created, etc., etc. And you are told again and again that words, what is that? Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. Again and again you are told, words cannot take you to the truth. Mind cannot comprehend the truth. And yet, Day after day, lectures are given. And we are interested to listen, we are interested to read, study, we are interested to come to the satsangs. But none of these words are going to reveal, because word is part of the relative, word is the effect of ignorance. How can a finite word reveal the infinite? This has to be understood. This has to be negotiated through. So that negotiation, if we are caught up in the entanglements of thoughts, we are caught up in entanglements of relations, positions, we are, well, take it more clear, we are caught up in the entanglement of creation, of the world. And how do you know the world? By way of thoughts. So how do you come out of the world of thoughts? Only by thoughts only. Only by thoughts. I have to sit in silence. Silence is a thought. If you say silence, silence is a thought. I am the undisturbed, unclutched. I am the Ajo, Nitya, Shashvatam. All these words are talking about something which they have never come to know. Birthless. Do you know what is birthless? But there is a word. Eternal. Oh yeah, eternal. Well, what is your understanding of eternal? You have only relative understanding of eternal. That this world is eternal. It was there before I came, and it will be there after I go. This is where we are stuck. Does the attention go to the principle of eternity, which the Atma is, in spite of the change that the body, breath, mind, intellect are going through? Does it go there? Does the attention go there? So it is these words. Through words, the teacher, here the Upanishad, is bringing you to a natural dissolution of word. Through words, we are coming to no word. Through efforts, we come to effortlessness. Okay. Through thinking, we initiate it, because we are caught up in thinking. So we have to be now, through thinking, you have to be oriented towards non-thinking. And this Atma does not come under the purview of thinking. Atma cannot be thought. Atma cannot be felt. Atma cannot be imagined. This conundrum is there. And if you are understanding, it is a great, great grace of the Lord. That means you have lived your life correctly, in spite of everyone, there's ups and downs are there. But in general, to a large extent, our mind is content. Until and unless devotion is not there in our heart, till then these verses will not make a mark. the subjective approach will not click. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Now continuing, same thing, hanta. This verse also we saw, I think. Hanta chen manyate hantum, hatas chen manyate hatam, ubhau tau na vijanito, nayam hanti na hanyate. If the killer thinks of it in terms of killing, and if the killed thinks of it as killed, both of them do not know. It does not kill, nor is it kill. This is, we told you last week, same thing, similar verse was there in chapter 2, where Krishna is telling Arjuna that if you think you are the killer, you are in the wrong coming to a wrong conclusion. If you think you are going to be killed, you are having a wrong conclusion. There is no killer and there is no killed. Then what is this creation and destruction that is going on? What is this? If there is no killer and there is no killed, then what is this creation, destruction? Is it not something is coming into existence and then going out of existence? It's a phenomena. So when body dies, what happens? It goes back to 5 elements. What happens to the Atman? Nothing. It continues. As I gave you the example of space, nothing happens. So tsunami is coming. It's going to kill all the waves on its journey to the shore. Oh, Rakshas is coming and it's taking me. But what is the essence of the wave and what is the essence of the tsunami? Water. So who is killing whom? Nothing. Nothing has happened, yet it appears as if something is taking place. Why? Our attention is on form, that's why. It appears that the space has got trapped in the house. It appears I'm going from my bedroom to the temple, from the temple to the toilet, from the toilet space to the kitchen space, from the kitchen space to the TV space. It appears that way because I'm moving. I have given that space different names, but it is the same house. I'm moving in the same house space. So I have not gone anywhere. I'm still in the same house. So did I leave? Did I enter the bedroom space? Did I leave the bedroom space? Did I enter the temple space? Did I leave the temple space? Where was your attention? Your attention was on the walls. But you are moving around in your own house. So what is this like? It is moving without moving. So like this example I took last week in Ishavasya said, Tanayjati, Tannayjati, Taddure, Tadavantike, Tadantarasya Bhayyataha. Without moving, it goes everywhere. So without going anywhere from your house, you have moved into different rooms. So have you actually moved anywhere? No, you are still in the same house. Same way. Same way. This Atman, if the killer thinks of it in terms of killing, that I'm going to kill you, because Arjuna was thinking. Who? You are thinking, I don't want to kill my cousins, I don't want to kill my teacher, I don't want to kill my grandfather, etc., etc. He says, if the killers thinks of it in terms of killing, that I'm going to kill them, who are you? What are you going to kill? You cannot kill the person. You cannot kill the essence of that person. And if one is thinking that I am going to be killed, his attention is also on the body. So both of these people do not know, they are living in ignorance. They are living in incomplete knowledge as to their essential nature. Because Atman, essentially you are Atman. You are the untouched one. Ajo Nitya Shashvatam Purano. And we already told you in the previous verse, neither it kills nor it gets killed. If that is the nature of Atman, and that is the essence of every being, actually speaking, there is no every being. There is only one being. On that one being, many beings are imagined. Just like on one water, many waves are imagined. You are touching, feeling, tasting water only, but you are saying wave. On one gold, many ornaments are imagined. From wherever you look at that ornament, it is nothing but gold. Then why are you calling it ornament? Form. See? Similarly, this Atman also, it cannot kill because it is all that there is. Okay, here is not taking, whichever way you take it. So Atma cannot kill and Atma cannot be killed. And I gave you one extra thing, body also cannot be killed. Why? Body only unmanifests. All forms in this creation only become unmanifest. They don't get killed. They don't die. That death is unmanifestation. Just because your breath, in-breath is dying to give birth to the out-breath. Out-breath is dying to give birth to the in-breath. So every day you are dying. Are you dying? No. The in-breath becomes unmanifest. The out-breath becomes manifest. Out-breath becomes manifest. The in-breath becomes... the out-breath becomes unmanifest. The in-breath becomes manifest. When I'm blinking my eyes, I'm dead. Eyes are not able to see the world. No vision. Is it death of the vision? It's unmanifest. So also thoughts. So also life. Everything becomes manifest and unmanifest. If your attachment, if your attention, if you are hooked on to body, breath, mind, intellect, then you will suffer this manifestation and unmanifestation. And if you have never been graced, Bhagwan is still waiting to grace you, and you feel a bit miserable, then our conclusion is, I was born, Swamiji, I will show you when I was young, when I was child. How old are you? 70 years old. And showing me when you were a child. Who cares, man? You enjoy talking about your past, you enjoy talking about your family, you enjoy talking about the world, relations. I did this, I did that, it was like that, it was like this. In India, someone just came out, Swamiji, the filter coffee there is wonderful, dosa was wonderful, idli was wonderful. Someone has just gone to Haridwar, Rishikesh. I told them where all to go. They had a dip in the Gangaji, they attended the Aarti, etc. All that is good. But where is our attention? Our attention is on objectivity. Our attention is on form. And understand, everything in this world we know only by way of form. Gross, subtle or causal. Okay? And what these gross, subtle and causal can be put into two: manifest form and unmanifest form. When manifest form dissolves, which we call death, which we call killing, nothing has actually happened. Realize this, you are free. Realize this, and you are free. Hanta chenmanyate hantum, hataschenmanyate hatam, ubhau tau na vijanito, nayam hanti na hanyate. This was the 19th verse. Now we come to the 20th verse. Katham punaha atmanam janati iti uchyate. How does one know the self then? This is going to be told in our next class. I'm saying. Next verse. Repeat after me. Anoraniyan mahato mahiyan. Anoraniyan mahato mahiyan. Atmasya jantor nihito guhayam. Atmasya jantor nihito guhayam. Tamakratu pashyati vita shoko. Tamakratu pashyati vita shoko. Dhatu prasadan mahimanam atmanaha. Dhatu prasadan mahimanam atmanaha. Together. Anoraniyan mahato mahiyan. Atma se jantor nihito guhayam. Tamakratu pashyati vita shoko. Dhatu prasadan mahimanam atmanaha. Anor, in just looking at the verse, Anoraniyan mahato mahiyan. The self is subtler than the subtlest. Mahato mahiyan. Mahato mahiyan, greater than the greatest. It is smaller than the smallest. The word, technical word for it is subtler. Like body, mind is subtler than the body. Or I should say, breath is subtler than the body. Mind is subtler than the breath. Intellect is even subtler than the intellect. Now what did I say? Intellect is subtler than the mind. And consciousness is the subtlest of the subtle. Consciousness, Atman. And what is its nature? Anoraniyan, mahato mahiyan. It is subtler than the subtlest. On one spectrum, the other spectrum, it is greater than the greatest. It is bigger than the biggest. Mahato mahiyan, bigger than the biggest. What is bigger than the biggest and subtler than the subtlest that you know in your life? What is that which is in and through everything and yet is everywhere? Space. Space is subtle and space is mahato mahiyan. But don't stop there, because you have to come to the logical conclusion. How do you know space? Is there any other space apart from this outside space? Yes, there is mental space. So space. So how do you know the outside space? Because of my mind. So mental space is the cause of the gross space outside. So outside space, mental space is subtler than the gross space. How do you know the mental space? Who is observing the mental space? Who is aware that in the mental space, in the container of the mind, in the mind, the thoughts are coming and going, the waking, dream, sleep are coming and going. Who is witnessing this? That is conscious space. Oh my God. So on the outside level, it is bigger than the biggest. But when we go to its source, it is subtler than the subtlest. See? Anoraniyan mahato mahiyan atma asya jantoho nihito guhayam. And it is and this great it is greater than the greatest and is lodged in the heart of every creature. It is the inner atmasya. It is the essence of every creature. See? Jantoho is the creatures. Nihitam guhayam. Remember in our Sri Ramana Gita also. Nihitam. It is there. Guhayam, in the heart. Heart means what? Heart doesn't mean the bloody heart. Heart means, okay, first meaning of heart is the throbbing heart, the bloody heart. The second meaning of heart is wherever there is sandhi, there is heart. Between the two breaths, between the two thoughts, between the day and night, in the morning and evening, that is the sandhi period. So that is outside, but within us, between the breath, between the two thoughts. This is the second place where you can catch the heart. What is the third meaning? Heart is your own essential nature. So what are you trying to catch between the two breaths? Who is there between the two breaths? Where there is no in or out, where there is no manifestation or unmanifestation, where there is no thought, no creation of a thought, nor there is a destruction of a thought. You are just in the middle. What is there? You are only there. You only know there is nothing. But instead of knowing and remaining focused on nothing, our attention is on the subject matter. Who knows? That is the eternal knower, the witness, that conscious principle, that is in the that is lodged in the heart of every creature as Atma, and it is in everyone. If I ask myself the question, if I ask you the question, if I ask everyone who is listening or anyone who doesn't even know, I go and ask them this question. Do you know yesterday you you went through the waking experience, dream experience, sleep experience? Everyone will say yes. Contemplating on that one who knows these three. So when we talk to you about it, you start thinking, "How kaun ho sakta hai? Who is it?" It is not there, man. It is you only. It was your experience. You were noticing, you were observing, you were witnessing the three states to come and go. You are witnessing the emotions come and go, the thoughts come and go, the breath come and go, the change of the bodies, childhood, teenage, youth, etc. You are the undisturbed one. That undisturbed principle, the eternal witness, which supports everything but is untouched by anything. And who is this who supports everything and untouched? Ajo nitya shashvata yam purana hanyate na hanyamane sharire. The one who cannot kill, the one who, he is that. And what is his nature? It is subtler than the subtlest, it is bigger than the biggest, and it is the essence of every being, and his location is in the heart. Heart is the essence. So first only a general idea was given in those verses. Characteristics were told. Now we are not happy just with characters. We want to make it our subjective experience. Now these people who have gone to India, they have known Gangaji, they have known Haridwar, they have known Manasa Devi, Chandi Devi, Nilkant, etc., etc. Knowing is one thing, but you want to be one with it. Knowing food is one thing. You want to be one with it. Then what do? You take the food from outside, you put it into the mouth, and you become one with it. It becomes one with you, or you become one with it. That food has got no choice. Nicely, it was sitting there on the tray. Someone comes, takes the papaya, nahi, kya aaj khaya? Nashpati, pear. With great delicacy, you cut it into 6 pieces. He's crying, ooh, ee, if he could. For what? So that it becomes one with me. So this is how we are going through. We look at someone, I think this is a good material for wife or husband. Become one. Where did you buy this car? Oh, how much it cost? So much. Oh, I can afford that much. Okay, I'll take that one or better one. You see a house, I will take that. You try to, and you are living inside the house, so you feel you are one with the house. You are living in this house also called body. Are you comfortable? Pain here, pain there, pain everywhere. Sometimes hunger, sometimes waking, sometimes dreams, sometimes sleep, sometimes hunger, sometimes thirst. कुछ ना कुछ चलता रहता है बॉडी में. It's never at peace. But you are inside this body, or I should say, well, this verse doesn't demand that. Actually, body is inside you. But here, according to the verse, Atma is the essence of everyone. So you have to recognize what is that without which this body cannot function. Whether it is a mosquito, whether it is a spider or a rat or a snake or a horse or an elephant or a god, or it is an individual. What is that without which he will not be he, or she will not, it will not be it? That essence. What is that? What is the essence of this light? Is it the bulb? Is it the wattage? Is it the frame? Is it the socket? Is it the switch? Or is it the electricity? Electricity is unseen. It is supporting the bulb. It is supporting the expression of light through the bulb. But it is independent of the expression as well as the equipment. Exactly the same way. Exactly same way is this Atma. It is supporting everything. It is the essence. It is supporting the bulb, the pot called the body. From that bulb, what is coming? Light. Expression of electricity is possible only through there. So expression of life is only possible through the body. Life is expressing. But is the Atman affected by the expression of life or non-expression of life? Is the Atman affected, concerned by the body or that means the equipment or the unmanifestation of that equipment? No, Atma is as it is. Water is unaffected whether wave is there or not there. If there is one wave, it is still okay. Many waves, still water is water. From water's point of view, there are no waves. From Atman's point of view also, here Nachiket is being prodded. Look within. He was looking outside. His approach was objective. Objective means externalized approach. Externalized approach. For some people, God principle is above the clouds. Externalized approach. But when you say, no, I'm not externalizing, I'm thinking in my mind, mind is with me inside this body. Oh, you are thinking by your mind. Who knows this? I know. So which means you are the subject and mind is the object. So you are looking outwards. Oh yes, externalized approach. This will not help. So Nachiketa is, because when he asked, tell me that which is beyond all the opposites we saw, anyatra dharmat, anyatra dharmat. This is where majority of good seekers, they make the mistake of objectifying it. So here the Lord Death is bringing the attention of Nachiket, and through Nachiket our attention that hey, Atma is the essence of every living being. Every living being. Tamakratu pashyati vita shoko. A desireless man sees the. So, tamakratu pashyati vita shoko. What is this vita shoko pashyati? That when one has risen above desires for the world. Tyage naike amritatva manashuhu. न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागे नैके अमृतत्व मानसु. न कर्मणा, not by action. न कर्मणा न प्रजया, न प्रजा, not by progeny. Not by action, I have to do this, I have to do that, I got this project, I got that project, I have to give lectures, I have to listen lectures. Satsang one must be done. Satsangatve nissangvato. Choose such satsang where your mind is destroyed. Not choose a satsang where you have 100 more questions. Such should be our approach. See? So we have desires for the world. So these are the three desires. Na karmana, na prajaya. We are continuously we are thinking only of our children, about our grandchildren, about our extension of our body. And that is our pastime. Day before yesterday, I went to someone's somewhere for Bhiksha. Same thing. That child now is in grown up. But Swamiji, 10 years ago, we went to do when our child was 7 years ago, he did Upanishad. अरे तो मैं क्या करूं यार? अभी कितने साल का है? 25 साल का है. 25 years old. 7 years. Who am I interested in that? And then they opened, and then and with so much enthusiasm, they are showing, Swamiji, this is me. You must have recognized that. Ha 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 ha. Then this is ha. And they are telling me about all their relatives and brothers and sisters. I'm never going to meet them. I'm not going to remember all this. Na prajaya, not thinking about people, wanting to do good to the people. Don't do good to the world. You be a good person, that's all. Let goodness happen through you. But those who have this itch and urge to do good for the world, big ego. No Mahatma says, I am doing good to the world. He purifies himself, he becomes an instrument in the hands of the divine. Nowhere you will say Ramana Maharshi saying that, it is such a great job that I am doing, that I am helping people to realize. Gone. The moment that statement comes, gone. Don't do good to the world. Na dhanena. So prajaya also means people, life. No, not only the whole, you are affected by people, you are attached to people, you are attached to your children, relations, extended relations. You want to be praised by the society, you want to do good for the society so that you can get accolades in the society. For that, people earn wealth. They give donations, they give wealth, they share wealth. Why? I want to be a philanthropist. All this does. Tyage naike. We have to give up all these three. then alone immortality is possible. Tyage naike amritatva manashuhu. Immortality is possible only through renunciation. Same thing is told here. Tamakratu pashyati vita shoko. Give up. A desireless man sees the glory of the self through the serenity of the organs, thereby he becomes free from sorrow. Sorrow comes from where? Sorrow doesn't come from the self. Everyone loves themselves. And you are one with yourself when you are sleeping. So what is happening that you are so much in bliss in sleep and not in waking? Because of the desire factor. Your desire in deep sleep, no desire. In waking, oh, full of desire. I want this, I want that, I want food at 12 o'clock, for 1 o'clock, how come it is possible? I am so hungry, don't you know that I have to eat at 12 o'clock? My time is getting wasted, blah, 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 blah. See? So a desireless man, so we have to develop. Nachiket has a desire to know that which is beyond dharma, adharma, cause, effect, doing, undoing, not doing, past and future. He has a desire. It is called mumukshutvam, an urgency to know, urgency to be one with it. Here he is telling, it's the beginning. Abhi to kafi lot of Upanishad is left behind. We have to go through. But here is a seed dropped. It will germinate and take its time of its own accord. What is that? A desireless man sees the glory of the self. You cannot see the self if you have a desire. If you are understanding all this and are unable to abide in the self as the self, it is because we are still attached to the world, we still desire the world. In Nachiketa's case, he still desires the truth other than those opposites. The Lord of Death is telling him even that desire to know that which is other than these opposites. Dharma, dharma. Where is dharma, dharma? In the world. In the mind, in the intellect. Dharma, dharma is in the intellect. The do's and don'ts are for the intellect. He wants to know what is beyond the intellect. Who is thinking? Who is asking the question? The I, which is expressing through the intellect, is asking. What is that which is beyond the intellect? See, only a Guru Maharaj, this doesn't happen by itself. Only a Guru Maharaj is able to introvertize this objective approach into subjective approach. These are the words. They will work for Nachiketa. They did work for Nachiketa. He came to know himself. What about us? When we are reading these verses, is our attention going to that subjective self? And our whole life is like that only. What? We know that happiness, joy is only when our desire is fulfilled. If I have the desire for food and I'm not getting food, or it is getting delayed, get disturbed. But when the food becomes one with me, the desire for food goes away. But Nachiketa is still desiring and he's not finding the food. He's understanding it, but he's not finding the food. Our story is the same. We know, yeah, I understand, it's clear, absolutely clear. The self, the Atman, the self of all. Atmasya janto niheto guhayam. It is in my heart. Yeah. Very clear. I quieten, my mind also becomes quietened. I go into samadhi also. Then why is it? Why when I come out of samadhi, the world is still there? Why do I still feel I'm incomplete? Why do I feel I'm incomplete? Tamakratu pashyati vita shoko. So, dhatu prasadan mahimanam atmanaha. And if he is able to give up all the desires for the world, meaning all the objects of the world, all the experiences of the world, all the possessions, all the relations, everything, including God. Here God has no place. You take the support of God, then you will get stuck with that loka. What was the support given? Om. Etad alambanam shreshtam. Om was given. Om is representative or is the symbol for the infinite as well as the relative. Relative expresses at two levels for us. For our understanding. What is that two? Individuality and totality. Totality is in control of Prakriti, individuality is at the mercy of Prakriti. But both are nashwa, they go both unmanifest. You unmanifest in few years, Brahmaji unmanifests after eons. So because we don't see him dying, we don't see him unmanifesting, so we say, oh, he's God. But he also will become unmanifest. Just like you become unmanifest in sleep, he also becomes unmanifest. But we are not talking about only manifestation and unmanifestation. We are talking about the one who is other than. He is supporting the phenomena of manifestation and unmanifestation, but is unaffected by the manifestation and unmanifestation. This is the first level. Second, from the point of the essence, there is no manifestation and unmanifestation. From the absolute point, there is no creation. From the creation point, this is the best way we can explain. Why? Scriptures say so. Why we have to believe these scriptures? Because realized masters have seconded it. They said what the scriptures say is correct, and we have realized it. Therefore, we must also follow it. Yes, remaining in our head. So we become free from, we withdraw, we give up what? We give up the world, we give up our senses, or we grow out of the world, we grow out of senses, we grow out of the mind, we grow out of the intellect, and then we come to the source, the essence that was told in the second line, first line, second part. Atmasya jantoho nihito guhayam. And what does it mean to go beyond, grow out of, let go of the senses? It means senses don't get disturbed by their stimuli. बुरा मत देखो, बुरा मत सुनो, बुरा मत बोलो. But tell me, when have your eyes seen bad? Whatever they see, they are never affected. They look at a leper, then they move, then they look at a beautiful girl, then the vision moves. It looks at an elderly person, then it moves. It looks at the empty sky, then it moves. Vision is going everywhere. It is not stuck with it. It is allowing the objects, the forms to come and go. What is the job of the vision? To illuminate. It is illuminating. It is not affected. It is not saying that I don't want to see this, I don't want to see that. The mind also is the same thing. The thoughts come and thoughts go. Mind is not affected by the good thought or bad thought or ugly thought or fantastic thought. So many thoughts are expressing as words right now. Mind is not disturbed. So many thoughts have come, so many thoughts have gone. So when these stimuli at the sensory level come, you are not disturbed. When the thoughts, many thoughts come in your mind and go away, you are not disturbed. This is called pacifying of the senses, pacifying of the mind. When you start, exactly, this is not going to stop. If you attach yourself to the stimuli at the sensory level, you attach yourself to the thoughts at the mental level, concepts at the intellectual level, you will be disturbed. You will have a desire. You will have a like or dislike. Something will precipitate. But you remain undisturbed. Let the senses do their job, you remain undisturbed. Let the mind do its job, you remain the witness, you remain the observer. You remain untouched. Don't have desire. Desire expresses as giving value to some thought, giving value to some object, giving value to some sense organ. I like that music, can I listen to it again? I like that dish, can I eat it again? I like that flower smell, where did you buy it? Can I go and get it from somewhere? You are giving value. After giving value, the desire. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu upajayate. Whenever we contemplate on something, whenever we think about something 2-3 times, automatically we become attached. that attachment leads to desire. Desire leads to, if you satisfy that desire, it will lead to greed. If it is not satisfied, it leads to anger. Desire cannot be satisfied, so it leads to anger. And a person keeps falling down. Gita chapter 2. So which one are you? Are you the one who is giving value to the thoughts, to the emotions, to the objects, to the sensory perceptions? Or you choose to be the one who is the witness of the whole thing? Now what happens? See, if you give value, the number of thoughts in your mind will keep increasing. Imagination will keep increasing. The desire for many, many objects will keep increasing. But if you remain a witness, remain untouched, remain unaffected, maintain a poise by not giving value to any thought, emotion, or object. Slowly, slowly, first, the body will become calm and quiet. The fidgetiness will go away. Then the senses will become calm. Then the mind will become cool. Meaning, the number of thoughts will become less. Because you are not giving value now. And when you have done that, and this is exactly what you are doing when you go to sleep, unknowingly. There your attention is not on the self, there your attention is on sleep. And therefore, in sleep, you are free of sorrow. Vita shokaha. You are free from sorrow, misery. Bring it about consciously. Only this way. Dhatu prasadan mahimanam atmanaha. This is the prasad. Then your senses become introverted, then your mind becomes introverted. They are not interested in the extrovert. Naturally, not forcing, naturally. See. Yeah. So this Atma is seated in the heart of all beings. Why all these words are being talked about, used? Because Atman cannot be explained. Atma cannot be explained. The truth cannot be explained because it is not an object. It is not an object. It is the inexplicable. Because when we start explaining it, it becomes an object of this world. It becomes an object because words are an object of the world. Words are an expression in this world. When these words are choosing one word called Atman, we start making Atman also as an object in this world. And therefore these non-conclusive statements and contemplations are given. Dakshinamurti Stotram is completely like that. All Upanishads are also taking you toward that. Non-conclusive abidance. Conclusion is for the mind, but you are already. हो गया टाइम ऑलरेडी यार. I didn't even get into the. चलो, जो प्रभु इच्छा. So in this manner, अणोरणीयान् महतो महीयान् आत्मास्य जन्तोर्निहितो गुहायां तमक्रतुः पश्यति वीतशोको धातु प्रसादान् महिमा नमात्मनः. ॐ पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ॐ. हरि ओम.